Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com, and today we are going to recover an office chair. And a lot of y'all had asked that I do a video on that, and I will be happy to do it. I'm having a little trouble figuring out how to do the camera on the tripod so y'all can see, but we'll figure it out. I'm also having trouble with three little dogs. Steely, go in there, go. They've got their toys in there, and I'm hoping they're not going to come in here. Go, go, go. Oh, he's going to stay in here. Anyway, so if y'all have watched the other videos, you know that Saturday we got this material. It's got a little string on it there. And I'm going to use it to recover, hopefully, both office chairs. Now, this particular one I'm going to do first is actually my office chair, and I got it, I'm going to say 12, maybe longer years ago, when I was doing day trading in the stock market. I did that for 2 years, and I made some really good money, and then the stock market started going down, and so I kind of got out. I was a little nervous about the stock market going down, and I was just in the process of learning how to short sell, and because you can still make money, of course, in the stock market even when it goes down. And anyway, the SCC, is that who it is? Whoever's the head of all that, changed the rules and made it much easier to short sell. So I started short selling for a little while, but it takes a lot more to short sell than it does to just buy and sell regular stocks. So anyway, I decided to get out, and Bucky's always said, you need to get back in, you need to get back in. But it takes from the time the stock market opens at 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock, and you're just sitting right there at your desk in front of a couple of computers watching the screens and watching what the stocks are doing. And it just really is extremely time consuming, even though you make really good money. But the truth is that you're like on the job 24/7 because you got to watch world events, and like I would get up at 6 in the morning to be able to watch what the stock markets in Europe were doing, and all that kind of stuff. And of course you had to watch the news, so I had to have me a TV, 2 computers going, and you had to watch everything all the time. But I did find out I was pretty good at it, and I really enjoyed it, except it was very time consuming. And of course you couldn't even stop to eat lunch or anything. You really couldn't, because you just had to watch it all the time. So anyway, that's my little story on why I got this chair. I had to get one that was very comfortable, and the way it turned out, I actually found the chair at Walmart, and tried sitting in it and everything, and it was very comfortable. I don't think it cost but like about $69 maybe. Of course, that would have been, what, 12 years ago. But anyway, it's been a good chair, and it's still good. And so when Mr. Bucky was writing his books, he used the chair because, of course, I didn't need it then. And really the only thing I need it for now is when I upload videos to YouTube and to the computer and all that. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm going to recover the chair, hopefully so it will look better in this room. And the other reason I'm doing it, wait a minute, I got to turn the camera here, there, sorry, I'm crooked, I know, is it's going to give me a little project that I can do, and hopefully, certainly get it done today and feel a sense of accomplishment, because my next project, the big project, is going to be to paint the den in there. And I've got to paint the ceiling, all the wood trim, 4 windows. And so in that room there are 4 windows, and let's see, 1, 2, 3 doors. One leading into the office, one outside, and one that goes into the kitchen. So it's going to take a lot. It really is, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'll like it once I get into it, but working up to, okay, you got to do this, is much harder. Now, Mr. Bucky's doing another job that I totally and completely cannot stand to do, and he's up there cleaning out drawers and closets, and he's got to the dump garbage bag and to Goodwill garbage bag, and I'm sure he's going to need several garbage bags because we've got a lot of clothes. Now, he's not going through my clothes, but he is through his. And so he's going to probably be up there all day. And he has not finished with the garage, but it is way, way too hot to be working outside today. It really is. And so now we've also got the humidity. So it was my suggestion that he just not work. You know, when you're old, you just can't handle the heat that well. And even Peppy was out with him the other day, and he got to feeling kind of bad and had to come in and ended up laying on the floor to cool off right behind Mr. Bucky's chair on the wood floor where it was cooler for hours. So we didn't even, Peppy's like, let's see, he's 14 now, so he didn't need to be out there either. So anyway, we're all staying in today. And some other news is I checked on my kale plants that are on the deck and that's still in the little containers, and I've lost about half of them. But the other half were doing okay, and they ended up with 4. Some of them have even got 6 leaves on them now. And so I went out there and looked at them, and guess what? During the night, after the rain, the slugs got in, and they've eaten a whole bunch of them. So I'm just done with it. I'm going to just replant the whole thing, and I'm going to have to move those containers up somewhere where the slugs can't get to them. They didn't bother them the whole time we didn't have rain, but once we had rain, yesterday we got a lot. We got about 1.5 inches of rain late yesterday afternoon and a little bit into the night. So that was really, really good because we desperately needed rain. But anyway, that brought the slugs out, and they decided they were going to feast on my little kale plants, and that's exactly what they did. So anyway, I don't mean to go on and on. So what we're going to do then is go ahead and recover this little office chair. And I'm going to also use some of this packing. Now this came out of an old pillow that I washed, and of course I put it in the dryer too, and it was a cheap pillow, okay? But I've got the polyester fiber that I'm going to use to kind of bulk up the chair a little bit, at least in the seat, and hopefully make it look nice. So, all right, there's the material, and so now I'm going to show you the chair. Y'all move. You see I've got dogs in here. Look at this. There's one, and he's going to go to sleep. Look at that. There's the other one, and there's Wheeler in there. Now Wheeler's got on a little Victorian collar. Come here, Wheeler. You can come too. You can come. See, he doesn't want to come because he's got a little place on his leg, a little sore that he keeps licking, and it won't get well. So we have to put on the Victorian collar until his little sore gets well, so he won't lick it. Steely, are you going to help Mama do the upholstery? So he loves to be on camera. Do you love to be on camera? Yeah, he does. Look at that. Say hello. Can you say hello? Anyway, all right, here's the chair. And I'll have to tell you, it was at Walmart, bought at Walmart, and it was cheap, I thought, but it really worked well. And so I'm going to put a little extra packing in the front of it because I don't like that it goes down a little too much. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Gets all my material, and he'll go to sleep there because it's right beside me. So we might have to close the door to keep the dogs out. All right, so I've looked at the chair a little bit this morning. I actually turned it over, and I can see we've got staples in there. And on the back of it, the only thing that holds it on are these 2 screws, and that took a Phillips wrench. I don't know what you call that. You guys would know what that is. Anyway, I'm going to take those 2 little screws or bolts, whatever they are, out. I guess they're screws. Take those out, and I'm sure the back is going to come right off, but I'm not going to take the bottom off because there are too many big bolt things holding it on under there. There's 2 back here and 2 here. I don't know, that looks like it's going to take the same type of wrench under there. See? Those right there. Anyway, I'm going to see about taking that off because it would be much easier to recover it if they were off. So anyway, let me get the back of it off, and I'm going to get the seat off, and then we'll be back. All right, we'll see y'all in a minute. I can figure out how to, yeah, there. Okay, so we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it was very simple to get the seat and the back off. I did have to use the Allen wrench, which is the hexagon shaped thing, and I did have this one fit, so I was pretty fortunate there. But look what I found. Now this chair has always wobbled a little bit in front, but I thought it was supposed to be that way, but guess what? That was apparently broke off right there from the time we purchased it, because it always wobbled a little bit in front. But I think you can actually get a glue that will glue metal. I don't know, I'll have to ask Mr. Bucky. But the other thing that we can do is use a piece of wood across there, because I actually want to raise up the front of the chair anyway, since this is the front. But anyway, it was fairly simple to just take 4 screws out, there and there. And I'm sure these little areas here are for another style office chair, probably one that had arms on it is what those were for, and they probably just used the same type seat. Okay, so we've got staples in here, and I'm not sure how this is put on. I think we've got one of those little metal things in there with that has the tacks on it. But anyway, let me put y'all up on the little tripod, and so you can watch while I'm doing this. So hold on. Okay, I wanted to show y'all this, that the bolts in the bottom had the little washer type things on them, but the 2 bolts that were in the back of the chair just had these kind. And of course I'm going to keep that little metal piece and see what Mr. Bucky thinks about how to fix that. I'm sure it can be fixed. So anyway, I'll set those up on the desk there so we don't lose any screws. So I think to start with, we'll take this bottom little sheet off. And by the way, this little stuff right here, they call it a dust guard, but it's actually the same kind of stuff that you lay down in the garden as you know, to keep weeds out of your garden. I forget what you call that, but it's the same stuff. And I've got some of that out in the garage, which I'll just, you know, make a new one of these to go on here, or I might just put regular material on there. Anyway, I guess they're doing massive manufacturing, so they have to put a little tag on it to show which side of it's the front. So anyway, what I need to do now is take out all these staples, and I want to look under here and see what that is. I'm not sure if it's wood, plastic, particle board, or what it is. So I've got a screwdriver. This is my little upholstery little container. And when my daughter and I were recovering a big couch that she had, and we were using just a regular screwdriver, you know, with a flat, straight edge, and what we would do is use the corner of the screwdriver to get up under the staple. So my son-in-law said, well, why don't I fix y'all a couple of little screwdrivers that'll work better? And he did. He see how he did that? And then this one and the corner, I think this is the one I used, the corner got broken off, but you still got that little edge there, which works perfect for taking staples out. All right, so let me see if y'all can see this. Move y'all a little closer. Yeah, I'm having to do this using the tripod. All right, there you can see. All right, so the first thing we need to do is take out all these staples. And all you do is just take a single flat edge screwdriver and get under one corner of it. Let's just do several while we're here. And you want to make sure you're doing that away from you. You don't want to you know, be doing it towards you in case your hand slipped. You wouldn't want to poke yourself in the eye. So I'm thinking what's under here is probably going to be particle board. All right, so then just a regular pair of pliers, and take a hold of the staple and then just turn the plier down. See? You can pull it right out. And I've got a drop cloth. This is the same drop cloth I'm using for when I'm painting under the ladder as I slide the ladder along. And I do that because I don't want to drop any staple and not be able to find it, because guess what? My dogs will try to eat anything on the floor. So let's pull this back. Okay. That's a piece of plywood, which is really, really good. All right, and I can also see that this is stapled too. So you see I've got a lot of staples to pull out. Probably take me maybe 10-15 minutes to get all these out. And then we're going to take a look at the back. So we'll be back in just a minute when I get through with that. All right, I've taken all the staples out, and I wanted to show you this. When you take the staples out, sometimes one side of it will break off. Can y'all see that right there? That really sharp edge is sticking out. What you need to do is take a hammer and beat it back in, because if you don't, oh, let me put it down and do it. I already lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, if you don't, when you're putting the cover back on, then your new cover, you might end up scraping against it and it will cut you. So, make sure I've got the right there. There. And I had one more that broke off, but I'm not there. That one right there. There's one right there. Y'all probably can't see that, but I can sure feel it. So make sure I don't have any more on there. Yeah, and it's always best to take the old cover off when you're reupholstering something, because it will just generally look better if you do that. Plus, this is the pattern. And I wanted to show you one more thing I forgot to show you. When you're taking the staples out, of course you're holding the little screwdriver like that, and you have to put a lot of pressure on it. You need to make sure you're always working away from yourself, because some of these I had to actually dig that screwdriver in to get them out. And so this is 2 baby socks put together, 2 baby crew socks. So that way, when I hold it, I don't end up with a big blister. And I can tell you from experience that happens. Because when you've just got the screwdriver there like that, and you're putting pressure and turning and everything, it'll eventually give you a blister. So, just put some baby socks or young children's socks doubled up on the ends so you don't get a blister. All right. So now, we've taken the back part off, that little dust guard, I think they call it, and I did think that's really the same exact thing as landscaping material, really. So I've got all the staples out, and it's a little harder when the material's all folded over, like when you're going around a little corner. You have to do a lot of, pulling the material back to see all the staples, but we've got them all out now. And this is going to be the pattern. Now I'm going to remember that the front of the pattern has this white selvage edge on it. That's the way I'm going to remember that. But if you can't remember it, or you've just got a plain material that doesn't have any design or anything on it, you need to, mark it in there so you know which is the front and which is the back. All right, so we're ready to take this off now, and I have no idea what this is going to look like. Sometimes the material is kind of stuck to the, this is foam rubber. And if you're reupholstering a chair that's really old, sometimes this foam rubber here will be all crumbly. And if it's crumbly, you really need to replace it, because it gets crumbly and hard. But of course, this chair is not that old. And there we have it. And of course, this material has a latex, probably glue or something they put down there to hold the material to the foam rubber. And you can do that, but I don't really see any point in that. All right, so there's the foam rubber, and it probably originally was white, but now it's real yellow. And I can tell you that the chances are pretty good that this is glued around the edges, or was once glued, because I can see the glue there. That's okay, because I'm going to actually put more packing right under it here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift that up, or hopefully I can get it up. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's glued to this piece of plywood that they formed. They probably wet it and heated it and then made it into, so it's sort of slightly rounded. All right, so it looks like that is pretty well glued big time. They've got extra padding here on the side and on this side, but I want to get that up just a little bit without tearing it up. See if I can get it in this way with my fingers. I don't want to tear the foam rubber up. Now you could actually take this foam rubber and wash it, but I mean, it really doesn't smell bad or anything, so it's just old. All right, I take it up about to the middle of it in there. Yeah. All right, that's about far enough. Now I'm going to put some extra poly fiber stuff in there from that pillow. I want to, make sure it looks even. And if I put it on top, see, it's not going to look as even as it will if I put it underneath this piece of foam rubber. Try to get it out even. No big lumps sticking up. Yeah, put a little more in there. Maybe that much more. Because this is going to go down some anyway once you do a lot of sitting in the seat. So that'll work. Yeah, see, that'll work for me. Yeah, so once I stretch the material over it, see, it'll pull it all down and it'll look smooth on the top then. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Getting it up a little bit in the front there. And of course that little piece of metal being broken on the frame also made it go down a little bit, but I don't think it made it go down that much. Because usually, when you're sitting in a seat, the most pressure is going to be right here when you're getting up and down anyway. So, okay. All right, so we got that straight. So there's the cushion that we're going to recover. And this is the pattern that we're going to use to cut out the material. So we'll put that over to one side. Now let's look at the back of this thing, because I'm not sure how they've got that on there. I'm thinking there's a tacking strip, because I feel a little nail in there, and then there's another one right there, so we can probably just pop that out. So let's have a look and see if we can pop it off. Yeah, see, it just comes off. There. Can y'all see I can't tell if that's staples. Looks like nails to me, and I'm not sure. I think this might be a piece of very thin plywood, which will make for a neat reupholstery job. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's somehow glued. I hope not. Yeah, that's a piece of thin plywood back up under there. All right, let's just get that all off. Can y'all go play somewhere? Oh, look at that. Y'all, Peppy, take the toy in yonder. I mean, they're right in the middle of that. All right. Yeah. It's like a tacking strip, I think, that's under there. So this is going to be a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Now I've got to find out down there how that's connected. Don't want to break that, of course. Yeah, I'm hoping that's not glued in there. I'm trying to see if it is. Maybe not. All right, let's see if we can go in there. All right. Can't quite figure that one out, so that's what's bending there. Is that's a real thin piece of plywood, but I sure don't want to break it. So I need to go out to the garage and get the pry bar and see if I can't get in there, because I'm thinking that might be glued, although I do see a little nail. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All right, I got the pry bar, and I'm going to see if I can't get this off without breaking anything. All right, you know what I see now? I think these little things in here are what's holding it on. Oh no, they're not either. All right, I'm gonna just jot it down in there and see if I can. There, very good. Very good. Okay, it was glued a little bit. See that string of glue going around it? Can y'all see that right there? Yeah. And that one thing right there was what was holding it on. So I'm going to have to see what those are. They look like, I don't know what they are. Anyway, let me knock one out and see what that is. What they've done is they have actually used something that looks like, I don't know what that is. It's not really a nail. There's one, yeah. See, it is a nail. It's like a little brad that they put in there, which meant it went through the fabric, because this is kind of a thick or a loose woven, and so that made the end of the nail disappear. Wait a minute, can y'all see that? It's a little, like a little brad nail. So I'll use those. I've got some in there in my cabinet in there, my little nail box, and I can use that to put this back on. So this is going to make everything much, much easier. So now what I need to do is take out all the staples from this back part, and I'm going to take them out from the front part, and then we're going to be ready to start cutting out our material. So we'll be back. I'll just go ahead and do that. And it did take me a good 30 minutes to get all the nails out of the seat, and it's probably going to take that long to get these out and get these out from the back and get those little brad nails out. So we'll be back. All right, we've got all three of the cushions, old covers taken off, and I've marked the bottom of them so that I know which way to position on the material. So we're going to go in the kitchen now and lay the material out on the table and cut it out. So we'll be back. Okay, here's what the table looks like. Mr. Bucky's been cleaning out that closet, all of his awards. Outstanding Superintendent of the Year. Look at that. All this stuff is going. Because, I mean, what could we use this for, right? Nothing. Yeah. So he doesn't want to keep it either. So, got to clean this up now. We'll be back in a minute. Maybe we'll keep that one. Ernest W. Stokes, Jr., EDD. All right, we are ready to lay this out to cut it. Now, I've got 2.5 yards of material, and this has got somewhat of a design in it. And this is the side of the material I'm going to use, because I actually do think this is the right side. The sales lady said it was that side, but I think she was wrong. I think it's this side, but I like this side better. So what we've done, because we've got a design of some nature here, what I've done is folded the 3 sections that I'm going to be cutting in half, right down the middle, and put them all on the same little green section all the way up. So this one, you see what I'm talking about, the little green? If you had a pattern, you'd want to match it up all the way down. All right, so I marked the bottom of each of the cushions so I know what's what. So this is bottom back of the cushions, and so I've got that on there, and that's going down. And then here is the front of the bottom cushion, so we'll be going up this way, so that works. And then on the back, I've got the bottom of the back. This is the back side of it. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. Now I'm going to cut them out just a little teeny bit bigger than they were to make sure I've got room enough to do my stapling. All right, so I'm going to get these cut out, and then I'm going to fix us a ham and egg sandwich for lunch, and we're going to be ready to start putting this together. So I'll go ahead and get it cut out before we come back. All right, see you in 30 minutes or so. Okay, I've got a correction. I had this one turned the wrong way, which is exactly why it's real important to label them, because once you get them off the chair or whatever you're recovering, it's hard to recognize what they are. So this is the bottom, so this needs to be turned around this way, like that. Because see, think of it as looking on the chair. This is the front of the chair going back. There's the top of the chair. So you want the design going all the way up. And then up there at the very top, that's the back of the chair. So we want that design going the same way as it does on the front of the chair. Not that it would matter too much with this material, but we do want to get it right. All right, we'll be back after lunch. All right, we are back from lunch and ready to finish up on this chair this afternoon. Now, one of the things I did, and I forgot to point that out, I went ahead and cut out the cushions, and as I cut them out, I transferred my little note telling me this is front of bottom cushion to the new material, because believe me, it's very, very easy to get mixed up if you take your notes off. See, I've got notes on that one and that one. This is the bottom of the back, and that is the back cushion bottom. So I know that that's the front cushion, and this is the thing that covers that little back piece. And I could not find any brad, those little teeny little nails. We used to have some, and I looked through all the nails in the garage. They're not there. So what I'm going to use is a little, or those old-fashioned little upholstery tacks. That'll work. They'll show up on the back, but as long as you space them out and make them look neat, they look fine. So that's what we're going to use. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually glue this back on, the material on to the back of it. Now, see how it's slightly curved? So this part is the inside. So I'll glue the material to this side and actually glue it around on the edges, and all you have to do to glue that is just use some regular white glue. That'll work perfect. And then I'll use the little old-fashioned upholstery type nails to tack that back on the back, which will look fine. So this is going to be pretty easy. So anyway, what I want to do now is go ahead and secure this cover on the cushion. And by the way, we looked at the little broken part on the chair, and we both determined, see that little metal thing there? Right there. And we have determined that it was definitely broken when we got it, because we thought it was supposed to go back and forth like that on the front. And so, I mean, it's been broken all this time, and it didn't make any difference to us, so why is it going to make a difference now? Because we would need to get a little piece of wood to go in there, and we don't have our drill here. It's up at, our big drill is in Mountain Rest. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put it back, and I'll just leave the bottom open, and we'll just secure that later. All right, so let's go ahead and get this cushion covered, stapled on. So what I'm going to do is start with the back side of it. So I've got it already positioned on here, and I've got me some extra padding up under here because I wanted to raise the front of it up just a bit. Let me turn around here, kind of sit Indian style here. And so now I'm ready to start stapling. So what I'm going to do first is flip it over. And I'm going to staple the back first. And the reason you want to do that is because I'm going to pull it tight across the front. So what we're going to do is pull it up. Hold on, let me get situated here. And I've got the 5/16 staples. I think this is the right staple gun. It's got the smaller upholstery staples in there. So I'm going to just hold it down. And look, that was the bigger stapler, the longer staple. So I had the wrong staple gun. I'm going to take that out. Yeah, I keep the 1/2" staples in this one and the upholstery staples in this one. So let's start over here. So I'm going to staple right in the middle. And I did cut the fabric about 1 inch or so bigger than the other cushion cover was. So I'll go over a little bit and pull it up tight. Staple it again and do the same thing over here. Okay, so that should hold the back for right now. Now, keeping my materials straight, and I'm going to pull it tight, make sure my padding's all in there correctly, because we've got extra padding in there to raise the front part of it up a little bit. All right, now I'm going to pull it tight. You see the material is bigger than it was before. Now you don't want to pull it extremely tight because then you'll get wrinkle type things in it. Pull it tight again. Make sure there are no slack areas there. And then pull it tight again. That should hold that for right now. Now we're going to do the sides. And I want to do the side right along that line there where they stapled before. So I'm going to pull it pretty tight. Let's get it straight here. Yeah. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in it. Staple it right in the middle on the side. Same thing here. And the same thing over here. Now I'm going to take a hammer and bang those in because they're out just a little bit once I know that this is right, because you can always take them out if you don't have it positioned right. Alright, so we want to make sure that that foam comes over that edge, so we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Reach over there and make sure that there are no wrinkles. Same thing over here. Okay, so now we've got all the sides stapled in, and as I'm looking at it, see, it actually looks a little crooked to me. I'm just looking at this little design and this one over here. This side needs to come down a little more, so all I'm going to do is take this one out. Pull it down a little more. Yeah, that looks more right. Now, at this point, you could have also put in extra padding all over the whole seat by using quilt batting. That's what works really well. Which is nothing in the world but polyester, spun polyester. So now I'm going to go ahead and staple this down some. And each time I pull it just a little bit, staple it. Because you want it tight, but you don't want it really super tight. And anywhere you got a little gathered up part, just work it out and staple it down. All right, so now we've got that pretty well secure. It looks smooth in the front here. And so now we're ready to do the corners. Now the corners are a little more difficult. So what you have to do on the corners is get right in the middle of it. See that? Right in the middle of the rounded part. And pull it up tight. Staple it. And then go, see where it's gathered up here again? Can y'all see that? Yeah, there. Where it's gathered up again. Go in the middle again. Staple it. Go in the middle one more time down here. Staple it. And of course pulling it, fairly tight. Now I'm going to go right in the middle of that and staple it. Right in the middle again. Staple it, and in the middle again. In fact, this one's going to take two. Staple right on top of that little pleat there. So we'll just come on around. Okay, and there's what the corner looks like. Can you see? So see really on the outside, see how smooth it is on the outside? All right, I'm going to do the other three corners and we'll be back. All right, so I didn't exactly like the way the front was looking right here because see this foam rubber won't come all the way down over this sharp edge here because I've got extra packing in there. So what I'm going to do to alleviate that little problem is I'm going to put some more polyester fiber across there. So see if I can make that look a little better. I'm just putting it across that little sharp edge. And try to get it evened out. Cutting some of that off probably, but that ought to work right there because it's coming together on each side over here, but right in the middle is where I added that extra. So we'll see if we can't make that work a little better. All right, so I'm going to stretch it out again, pull it over. Yeah, that helped. See if I can pull that foam rubber down. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to actually staple that on there. Well, that didn't work, did it? No. All right, so what we're going to do is stand it up and staple it. Let me get where y'all can see. You see what I'm talking about? This little sharp, I don't know, I'm not very good with this camera today. On this, the plywood, there's a little sharp edge right there. There, you can see better. Right there. So normally this foam rubber comes down just to the edge and covers that, but because I've got extra padding in it, it's not coming down all the way. So what I'm going to do is put some of the polyester quilting fabric there. See if I can get that stapled on, just to hold it long enough for me to get the material wrapped around it. And we'll even it out. Oh, that didn't sound like it went in. Yeah, it did too. All right. And if this doesn't work, we'll just take it off and try something else. Let's see if I can turn around here. Yeah, y'all see what I'm doing, right? Because we got a little sharp edge there. That one didn't go in either. And my screwdriver. Yeah, that one kind of missed the wood on one side, so we take that out. We'll do it again. All right, I'm having no luck with that. Get it up here. That got it. Nope, still didn't get it. Son of a gun. Try one more time. No, I'll have to try yet again. Let's go down here a little bit and see. That went in. All right. Yeah, you can tell by the sound of it whether it goes in or not. Let's do it like this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, well, I don't think I did, the upholstery staples are, you can't see that because the tag's over it, but it's 5/16 is the size for most upholstery. That's what you would need. All right, I'm going to put some of this right there like that. Okay, thank you. It went in that time. That went in. All right, we're about to the end of this. All right, now we got it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take that and pull it up over it just a little bit. Make sure it's even. The thickness anyway. All right, now I think we're there now. All right, pull this over now. Pull it sort of tight. And we're ready to staple again. Yeah, it'd be easier to do this on the kitchen table, but Mr. Bucky's got all this stuff in there again, so. All right, here we go. Let's see if that worked. That worked. Okay, we're good to go now. So, I just wanted to come back and show y'all sometimes, you know, there's a problem and you have to figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna finish stapling this and we'll be back. All right, we have finished tacking the back on or stapling it on. What I generally do is just go around with a little hammer and just lightly hit those staples just to make sure they're completely in. So I've already done that all around. So now, there's what it looks like. Got it all stapled on. And so what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and put this same little cover that was on it before right back on the back of it, because we'll probably be taking this seat off to see if we can't fix that thing here in probably a few weeks. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this fabric right back on it. If I can figure out which way to put it on. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to lightly tack that on with the staples, and then we'll be ready to start on the back. So we'll be back in just a minute. All right, we've got the bottom cushion finished. There's what it looks like. We went ahead and put that same material back on the back of it. You see the little holes where the back goes on, and obviously this was the same base they used for a chair that had arms on it, and that's what those holes probably are, but of course mine didn't have arms on it because I didn't want arms on it. All right, so there it is. I'm somewhat happy with this area right in here, but not super happy with it. See, it's not as neat as I would have liked for it to have been, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put the seat back on the frame, so we'll be back in just a minute. All right, we've got the seat on. I had to have a little help from Mr. Bucky, and I see that I need to put another staple in there. There was a staple that didn't take right there. But there it is. Yeah, and I've got extra packing in the top of it. And by the way, on the bottom there where it was broken, let me show you, it actually is giving support, even though the metal is broken. The problem was this screw was a little loose under here. Oh, you can't see that. Can you? Yeah, no, you can't see. But anyway, it's actually okay, it seems, even if that little piece broke, because the metal piece comes over far enough that it actually gives it support. All right, so there we are. We're getting ready to work on the back now, so we'll be right back. All right, we are ready to put the back of this chair together. And when I took the other fabric off, of course, they had slightly glued it to the foam rubber. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I've got it positioned on, using my little note as a reference there. I know which way it goes. So what we're going to do is just use some Elmer's regular white glue. And I've got me a little rag here, I had a little rag, there it is. A little rag I'm going to smear it out with. So, and part of the reason for this is because we got the hump here, which is what fits into your back, that makes your chair comfortable, really. So we're just going to put some of this glue on, and it'll dry pretty quick. So, and the whole idea is to be able to glue it because of this hump that's going out there. And it will glue it right to the foam rubber and secure it pretty well. So I'm just going to take a rag and smear it out a little bit. And I can do this, of course, because the material is pretty thick. And even if it came through a little bit on the material, it's going to dry clear. All right, I'm going to throw that away, wipe my hands off, and we're ready to just glue it down. Whoops. I need a couple of little beads there that need to be sort of smoothed out. Yeah. All right, that's got it for sure. All right, so I've already got my material positioned, and all I have to do is then smooth it down on there. And see, my little green section is sort of right in the middle. All right, now we're going to leave this sitting for, I don't know, maybe about 15 minutes. Make sure it's dry and stuck on there really good. and we'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and start stapling it a little bit. All right, we'll be back. All right, we've got the back all ready except for the back side of the back. There it is. We've got that all stapled on. So now the next step is to use some of the glue and glue this on the back. Now I'm going to glue it on the back and around the edges, and we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to use some of the little upholstery nails all around the edge of it to tack it to the back. We'll be ready to put this chair back together. So we'll be back in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. All right, I have glued the back covering on the back of the seat. And because this is super thin plywood here, it just fits right on the back. I had to glue it. Because I don't have any staples that have to be about 1/8 of an inch, I think. So anyway, I went ahead and used the white glue, and I glued the whole back material on this side, and I went ahead and cut little X's with a razor blade for the holes where the little screws are going to go that screw this back on. And I used clothespins around the edge to hold it while the glue sets up, which is probably going to be about 30 minutes. So we'll be back and we'll be ready to tack this on the back of the chair and put the 2 screws in. We'll be done. We'll be back. All right, we are down to the final stretch on this chair, and the back is all dried. I, of course, glued the material. This is the back side. Went ahead and cut little X's where these little screws go, and I went ahead and put them in before I started gluing. Now I'll take them back out to connect them to the back metal part of the chair. But anyway, I did find some little brads. Lucky me, right? Look. Yeah, I found them in my little, I keep all my little small stuff in, this is actually a little tackle box. And when I was looking for them, all I saw was some really small little screws, and it turned out that that's where the brads were. I was trying to see which, oh, here they are. Yeah, see all those little screws? Well, they're brads all mixed in there with the little screws. So, really in luck there. So, what you do is put the little brad in. And I don't know if you can see how small that is. Can you see that? Yeah. And then once you've got it hammered in, you can just take the little, let me get this screwdriver, that little pointed edge screwdriver or a needle, and you can just pull the material back over. It looks like I'll need a needle. But anyway, you can hardly see it. Now the brads that were in there had a little black or grayish paint on the end of them. Mine, of course, are silver. But anyway, I'm going to put them all around the edge because the edge was actually coming up on the old chair a little bit. So I want to make sure that the back of it stays down. The glue is still maybe a little damp around there, but it's good and tight. So I'm going to get the nailing done, and we'll be back and put the back on, and I'll show you what it all looks like. Be back. All right, I have finished the chair finally. I did take a long break and got everything all cleaned up in here and put away, but here it is, and the hardest part was in the back, putting in those little brads to keep it back. Yeah, because a couple of them had some, little spurs on the end of them, and I had to take them back out, and it was hard to get them in. But anyway, finally finished. So I would say this type chair could be recovered, I'd say give yourself about 5 hours actually. But anyway, I'm very happy with it, and also happy to know that where that little thing is broke really doesn't affect it at all. And I thought it did, so there's really nothing there to fix. All right, turn this around. All right, we will see y'all next time. This was a project that I wanted to do just so it would sort of match the room, and not be just that dull charcoal gray looking chair. But I'm not going to do the other chair because it it's really got a sort of an orange cover on it, and it really doesn't clash with the room, I don't think. But anyway, so we will see y'all another time. I'm tired. Bye.